Hello, everybody. Only 2 minutes late, so we're making progress here, everyone. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, what's up? What's up, everyone? I'm just going to give it a second. Some more people or the chat to catch up here as well. Okay. So first things first, I was trying to do this. I just said I'd wait, and now I'm just going to talk. So I got before Halloween. Let me grab them and I'll show you these cool like they were in the $5 spot at Target. You know the dollar spot thing at Target. They're like, you know how much, I love my neon. There's this guy. I've got a dinosaur on the other side, and then I have the Guardians of the Galaxy side. I've got to like make room for somehow in here. And I have on the floor that I bought at Celebration this like neon sign that I don't know how I'm ever gonna hang this up, but I dream of it someday. Actually, I think this one should go in my kitchen because technically this is for a diner, but not here. I don't think it'll ever go up in this apartment. But so I have these little ghosts guy. I got Boo. I was gonna put this one on the shelf behind me. Clearly, I'm behind the fact. I don't care because Halloween is in my blood all year. I have a bat already from the year before, so this is like another bat, and they were all $5. So the bat's gonna be on either side of the poster here, because it'll be like the Stranger Things posters that I rotate through. But also, who doesn't always love a little ghost? They're around all year. Just because we celebrate them at Halloween doesn't mean they're not always around. But I thought the Boo one I'd put back here somewhere, but this one I might actually just like save for next Halloween. But they're all battery powered, which is great, like little tiny ones. So I have finally got some double-sided tape I was going to use, because that's the only thing about them having been in there is they don't really have, sometimes the neon signs from Target, they'll have like the little hook hole or something like that. And I mean, I could like put a little nail or I do like push pins or something like that. Actually, that is probably what I'll do. So I can't believe I waited so long to put these up, and I could have just used push pins. What a fool. Anyway, I got these. They're important because these are the command strips, the teeny tiny ones that I can put here, because I told everybody I was going to commit to embracing the end of the holiday. I was going to embrace the holiday season this year. And anyways, one of the things I really like, I like lighting. I like those like accent lighting and things like that, and like when people have rope lighting and things. And so I was at Target the other day, and they have a lot of their holiday stuff out, and there were these cool teeny tiny, they're from the Wonder Shop. There's 115 lights on them. They're very bright, and they color change. And these are 9 feet 7 inches. So I was like, okay. So I got 2, thinking like, well, I could connect them. Also thinking, well, they're battery powered, right? Girl, look at the size of this plug. Look at this thing. They're not battery powered either, and they don't interconnect. So, like, I can't. Why wouldn't the teeny tiny ones be battery powered? That is baffling to me. Because, like, where would I put these that I would just need one strand that wouldn't connect to other lights, but would have a plug this big? Like, what? It's also straight out. So it's not like this can, like, hug behind a TV or something like that. So I'm just like, I'm going to have to return these, because they weren't cheap either. These were like $15. I think when I picked them up, I thought they were $5. So it was $30 for 2 of these strands. Sorry, guys. You're definitely going back. That's too much. Bummer. But I was thinking, because like a place across the way here, they've got some lights up. I was just thinking I just need like regular white strand lights, that. But now I'm worried that these command strips I got are like too thin for that. I don't know what else you'd be hanging with. These are literally the smallest ones they had, the decorating clips. And they hold, does it even say how much they hold? Oh, shoot. It just says hold strongly. I have to imagine that's what those are for. Keys or something? I don't know. Girl, I don't know. That just bummed me out a little bit. But I do have another. So I had 2 of those, and then I was going to do like, oh, see, this one has a timer. This one doesn't have a timer. And this one was only $10. I was going to do these little snowflakes, like right in the middle or around the Halloween stuff to give it a little bit of a thing. I got to redo all the shelves and everything like that. But so that's where I'm at, thinking about that. And then because then it's like, well, I can't just do this square. You see this square, so I've got to like do it all, which is fine because I have always wanted to add some lighting here. So if anybody knows the best way to do this, I would love some insight. So these are two like bookshelves side by side, and I have a plug down here. And I think technically there's a plug behind the other bookshelf. I don't think I can get to it. So it's like I'm limited to this. So I think they'd have to be interconnecting. But if anyone knows has ever had any experience doing that, I would love to hear from them because I do want to definitely do something with like lights up here. It's very dark up here, my loft, because it's, it's like a loft above a kitchen. And it just like, I've for years kind of thought about like kind of staple gunning in. I know it's a bad idea. I always love in a movie or like a restaurant or anything like that when they have like big Edison bulbs or like I love when you plaster the Christmas lights. So I don't necessarily like the dangly ones. I like the ones where they're flat. So so it's like these were cool because they were just like the flat light. But it's like because I don't want to like it get caught on anything or make it feel smaller than it already is. But I just love the idea of creating like a starscape with it. And I don't know. I mean, I guess they make like those projectors now that you could just point up at the ceiling and stuff. And I could try one of those. But I wanted to do something to jazz this up a little bit. I guess this would be something where I have a metal Power Rangers lightning bolt over there that's like probably like 4 feet. Like this would be something where I could put those around that and then plug it in. But it's just such a specific, weird length. I don't understand. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice a little bit, but I did Halloween Horror Nights from like Stay and Scream to closing on Thursday, and it was wonderful. We could have done all 10 houses. We did 9 houses because my friend didn't want to do Chucky. He was too afraid of the dolls. So we did 10 houses because we repeated one. And then but we still like had food and drinks and took time to do videos and fun photos and things like that. So I was like, we were never rushed, and we still left before 2 a.m. So I was like, wow. And the weather was incredible. And then I thought, no way that'll happen on the Saturday night again. And it was a little bit busier on the Saturday night, but still I was there. I didn't do Stay and Scream so that I could kind of, because I had to drop my friend off at the airport. And I actually probably could have made it if I had left my house like 15 minutes earlier. However, I have never, ever seen seen the opening ceremonies, which is like a little kind of like, we welcome you to Halloween Horror Nights, sort of a show that they do just for anybody who doesn't have a Stay and Scream ticket, like just outside of the gates. It's basically lasts like a minute. So it's not anything like insane. But I just was curious, and I've really, really enjoyed the entire year of Halloween Horror Nights this year that I was like, well, I want to see if I can get the shot of it for my video because I don't know if, I've said it before, but I like to do these like little personal overview videos that are for me because my work does not pay for my frequent fear pass or anything like that. Not that that matters, but it's just one of those where I was like, I want to make a memory video for me and have that. And so if you are one of my Patreon supporters or something like that, you've probably heard me talking about it before, but I do like a music video to whatever, like a song that I feel like embodies sort of the vibe. So I'm working on that now. It'll take me for a while, but I have a little cut I did earlier, or not like a cut, like literally a cut between shots, and I was like, man, I love this. This video is going to be good, hopefully, but we'll see. So I'm excited about that, and I feel like it's the little way of me keeping that little Halloween spirit alive with me, carrying it through into the next season. But with that said, I don't want you to think like I am looking forward very much to. We have for work. I have on Thursday so this is why I'm like, okay, this is if Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party in Central Florida at Walt Disney World and Magic Kingdom, if that is the indicator of when the Halloween season begins here, then I would argue the first Christmas party, whatever park has one, Christmas celebration, that is the marker of the beginning of that season. And so I was like, I embrace it. And that is this Thursday. So I have that all night Thursday night. And then this year there's a new party at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And the first one of those is Saturday night. So I have that all Saturday night. And then this weekend is my Power Rangers convention that happens in Orlando on usually the first weekend, well, not this year, of November. It was just a weird timing, I think, in November. So I have that, and then apparently it was like an invitation to another. I was like, I got to do the Power Ranger thing a little bit. So I'm very excited about all of that, and it sounds like it's going to be an exhausting week. So I'm trying to rest a little bit today because I fell at Halloween Horror Nights on Saturday. Like, my friend was trying to take pictures of all the marquees as we went into the house, my friend Amber. And we got in line for The Exorcist, and she was like, "Oh, I missed it." And she didn't want to miss it without the wait time, because she did like the wait time versus like the actual time thing. And so I try to always she calls it being romantic for her, but I'm like, girl, cut it out. But I ran back, and I didn't want to lose our place, so I I ran, and then I was running back. And if you know Universal Studios at all, the area where the line for The Exorcist was in front of their music stage, in front of their Rip Ride Rocket attraction, and that area has a lot of it's built kind of so if you're facing the stage, like I'm facing the stage, there are these, it's all like grassy areas, but they're interspersed with like concrete sidewalks. And when you go for Halloween Horror Nights line, it goes back and forth like this. And I was running, and I felt it as I was running. Like, the grass goes up, the thing comes down, the grass goes up, and my feet were changing textures as I was running. And I, for some reason in my brain was like, couldn't slow down. And I saw them, and right when I was almost caught up with them, my foot caught the edge of, so they have all the gates have these flat things at the bottom. And so I've tripped on them before. Everybody has, and but this time I was running, and I tripped, and I fell flat on my face. I threw my phone, I broke the screen protector that was on my phone. I think the screen is still okay. But I fell onto the concrete part so hard that my camera was in my backpack, and my camera was on the top of my backpack, and my backpack came up and hit me in the back of the head. So my camera hit me in the back of my head. I fell, and I got up really quickly, but I had scraped my arm, my knee. I could feel it everywhere. I was it was that road rash from when you fall on a sidewalk, little abrasion. But I have bruises all up my arm, on the sides of my leg, and everything. And the worst part about all of it is I fell in front of a gaggle of Gen Z girls who just looked at me in complete disgust. And I was just like, I hope you know you're going to trip someday. And you know what would have been nice? Somebody to say, "Are you okay?" and help me up with their hand. And instead, they just stared at me like, we're making a TikTok. They probably were, but anyway. So it was embarrassing. But I did get to do all 10 houses, so whatever, jokes on them. And I got some good shots, I feel like, and so it was fun. And now I'm in that sort of not post-Halloween depression, because I find that Halloween is more than a holiday, it's a lifestyle, and I carry that lifestyle with me, and I'm just going to embrace it. So, but that doesn't mean that I can't celebrate the other things that come along with it too. So I'm going to try and lean as heavily into Halloween into Christmas as I did for Halloween this year. So I'm going to be all about it. I'm going to try and get red, green. I want to do gold, silver, all these outfits, everything. I want to have fun with it. So, I don't know what I'm going to wear to this party. This Jollywood Nights party is it's supposed to be I think fancy old Hollywood or whatever, fancy, but I have some gold sneakers I had got for my, that I bought myself for my birthday last year, because my birthday's January 1st. And so I always do a New Year's thing, and they're platinum, they're gold, and they light up. So there was so they change colors and everything. They're cool, because anything that's plated gold to me is very cool. So, because I'm trashy like that. But I was thinking I could do something like if I had a gold jacket, like a gold bomber jacket, I thought would be cool, or maybe like a cool like gold suit jacket, but it has to be like shiny gold. It can't just be like yellow or like mustard. I thought that would be fun. That, or I was gonna do like, I looked for like white jeans because I thought I had a pair and they don't fit no more. This baby's getting big, and I must have I must have gotten rid of them because they didn't fit. So I was thinking like my red high tops that I have with white pants and then like a red top or something, for like a classy Santa sort of look. But I don't think I'm going to find white pants in time. But I really need to light the fire under my ass to try and hurry up and find this outfit, and figure it out and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at. I'm a little anxious about it, but I did get from Roosevelt's, which is also where the sweatshirt's from, which I love or it's a performance hoodie. Sorry, I was like, what is the word? But it's a Star Wars one. So like, see, there's the Jedi. It's like, I think it's Obi-Wan and Vader, and I like it because it's very like like Metropolis looking, and so it's perfect. They're perfect because they're stretchy and they're thin, so it's like nice. But anyway, I got a like this. It's called burnt russet, but so it looks sort of like a wine colored shirt, I would say. And then I also got something olive, like dusty olive or something like that. So I was like, okay, I got a red and a green. And I don't know if I want to go for like some cranberry with like gray pants and stuff. And so I don't know. I might just do that outfit I wore to my friend's wedding last year too. But the suit jacket was like not cheap. So I'm like, I don't know that I want to wear that to like a theme park and running around with like a camera and everything like that. So we will see. We will see. How are you all? I just like literally started talking and haven't shut up for the last 16 minutes. Holy cow. But the whole reason I started that story is because you can probably hear my voice. I was screaming so much. These team members, these characters, these people, those last couple of nights, man, they were memories made. That Thursday and that Saturday were just like probably the most fun I'd had at the event the entire time. I just really liked the vibe of the event and everything. It was so crowded in September, but then like we ended up with nice weather in October that was dumbfounding. It's never been that good of weather for Halloween Horror Nights the entire time I've been going. It was just beautiful, and every character everywhere, they were like killing it. I loved it. It might be one of my favorite years. Like, I mean, it definitely is. My favorite year, solely based on like properties and stuff like that, is the like Ghostbusters year. But this year, like, there wasn't a house that I didn't really like. I didn't love Last of Us, but it wasn't like a bad house. I just didn't feel like it was like, it didn't offer me enough for like what you're waiting for. So, and I'm sure we'll do a work episode maybe that we wrap up about, we'll wrap up about our final thoughts about Halloween Horror Nights. So be sure to tune into that on the Diz Unlimited channel. But I just like think about like the way I approached it this year, the way I enjoyed it, and I like finally figured it all out. And it's kind of like, you can't let your enjoyment of something be dependent on somebody else's enjoyment of it. I think you have to just be like, sometimes even if you're there with who you think is the biggest fan of it all, sometimes I think you have to be prepared for them to not love it the same way that you love it. And that's okay. But you like, don't let that take it away from you. Like you can enjoy it. And that was a big part of that for me, where I was like, there was a little bit where I was kind of getting down on myself for like, I was like the filming, and I always do that when I'm filming. I'm always like, this is awful. This isn't good. And I am on that cusp of like, my lenses are past their prime for sure. Two of them definitely are. And so it was very challenging using the equipment I have. And I mean, this isn't like a sob story. It's just a reality. So like, there's a thing that happens with like camera lenses where they like focal drifts, like, and so like, I can't rely on the autofocus. And I also feel like I'm right on that cusp of like making an eye appointment to be like, maybe I need glasses. It's not like I can't see everything like perfectly clear. It's just I find that my eyes getting a little more tired from like staring at my phone and small objects. Like, so the phone through the camera view lens, when I do that for like hours on end, it will do it to anybody. It gives you that blur, and you're like, I need something to sharpen my eyes, because I'm just like, I just need that little extra second guessing myself all the time and stuff. So, but like looking back, I'm like, okay, I've got some good stuff, and I'm hoping my video comes out pretty good. But yeah, I'm definitely, I think I'm on that realm of being like, I think it's time to invest in a new lens. But lenses for this camera are expensive. They're like $1,000 for like a decent one, and it's just like, ugh. I want to do more of those. Like, I don't know if you all saw it, but I went to a Halloween themed bar. It's called The Courtesy, but it had a Halloween overlay called Nightmare in Orange. And I went there, and that video didn't get as many views as I hoped it would. It was only like 1,000, which sounds petty, but you know, these lives and some of the other stuffs I've gotten like 4 or 5. And so I was just like, oh, I'm going to try this exciting new thing. And it was very difficult to film because it was so dark. And I used a different camera, and it was just one of those where I was like, wah, wah, didn't work as well as I'd hoped. So I'm just like, my phone I need a new phone, but my phone is like paid through my work. And I am going to bring it up with them. I just, you know, it's about finding that sort of right time. And I don't want to be whiny either. Sometimes I'll be like, I need this, I need that. And you know, I'm like, hey, take a beat, calm down, reassess, and then let's go from there. So I definitely somebody, I think John in this chat, I know there's more than one John in here, sent me a link to, I think, the DJI, which is the mic brand that I'm using. They make a Osmo, OSOMO camera, which is that teeny tiny like camera that has like, it's like this big. That is essentially, I think, like a phone camera. So, but it's like, you know, whatever. And they just released a new one, and I don't know that it does any good in low lighting. And that's the thing. I think you just pretty much have to use like an actual DSLR whenever you're in low lighting. But I was thinking about potentially that being something to invest in if I'm doing more and more of this like out on the town sort of stuff that I want to. And I'm going to keep pushing myself to do it. So that Courtesy bar becomes Miracle on Orange for a Christmas overlay. They have a really cool looking Krampus mug this year that I'm definitely going to get. But I want to go and take you on that. And then later this week, I'm going with a friend visiting who may or may not be, probably not in this chat because I think they might be on the airplane, but who's in town, and we're going to go to a newer tiki bar. I think it's maybe still under a year old. It might be like a year old, called Permanent Vacation. And I think I'm doing that on Wednesday night. And, but I want to bring you all with me. I want you all to come with me. I wish I could just live stream it while I'm doing it and just be like, oh, let's talk about it. Blah, 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 blah. I haven't mastered that yet. Not yet. I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to, like, I know it's more normal in a theme park, but I don't want to be disruptive when you're at a bar or a diner or things like that. And then if you can't hear me or the internet shit or whatever, it's just one of those things where you're like, you know, I want it to be good. I want it to be fun. And you're so nice and friendly and supportive that it's that sort of vibe of being like, I want to take my friends with you and show you what I do and stuff like that. And I want to get better about I think I'm going to try and do sort of like not daily as in like every day, but daily journals, you know, like waking up, this was my day today, you know, just a regular day. And then having the babies in it a little bit more, the corgis and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm, you know, just one of those, you know, and the holidays are coming up. So it's kind of thinking about like, okay, what am I adding to my Amazon? Because I have private Amazon wish lists because I don't want people to see it. And I'm like, I have like one for like, you know, the public. So like my mom or friends or family or somebody can find it and be like, oh, I'm going to get them this like Power Ranger toy that I didn't need. And I feel awful about putting anything on any list, or I just have like sort of guilt when it comes to gifts. It's awful. And so whenever I say like, hey, thank you for anything like that, I just need you to know I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'm just such an awkward human being. I met a couple on the last night of Halloween Horror Nights that handed me a gift card, and they were the sweetest people, and they say they watch these too. They were so nice. I was just like, no, I can't take that. And so I was like, oh my God. So it was just like, you know, it was just so like, wow, I don't know. People are so generous. It like blows me away. So I try to figure out like, how am I going to pay that forward too, you know? I was trying to do it. I was thinking about this before we did the live stream. I know this is like a tangent thought. I'm sorry, bear with me, but those people. I was thinking about those people. I was thinking about. I have many generous people in my life. You know, and I was thinking that I had a friend, like, like we're like, I don't know about anybody else in this new day and age. You can be friends with somebody on the internet for forever, and then whenever, because you're not in the same city, you're not wherever. It's like a pen pal situation. And then when you go to that city, you meet them and you hang out and stuff like that. And I have friends like that. We've been friends for like 15 years, and we've seen each other like twice, but we're friends, And I was with one of them once, and I was just thinking, like, we were just talking about, the sort of stuff that you don't really talk about when you're probably like texting or messaging back and forth and that sort of social media thing. The real hard hitting stuff, because I love to get into therapy mode for some reason when I'm with people. And it's kind of like, like, what do you want to do in life? Because I told them, I was like, I can't answer that question for myself really, like, concisely the way that people want you to, because it's a creative field and it's hard to be like, I want to do this. So you're just always trying stuff. This is what I do, but I don't know if it was somebody who was like, unlimited budget, what are you doing? I want to make movies. I want to be a part of making movies. I don't know what that looks like. I'm not saying I want to direct. I'm not saying I want to write or act or whatever, but I want to be in the room where it happens. Hamilton, boom, nailed it. But I want to, but part of that is I love assembling talented people, like friends, and the right person for the right project, and like it all comes together. And it's just such a cool feeling of like community and collectiveness to create something that then you can put out there and other people can enjoy it too, and like be like, oh, that's so cool, and it makes their day, or they like get excited about it or something like that. Like, I love that sort of like little seed that gestates and like travels through us all, and I think that's just so cool about television, art, and all these movies and podcasts or whatever it is. And I just think it's so cool sometimes. And it's one of those things where we look at it as such a disposable thing that I don't, it really isn't. It really isn't. We treat it like a disposable thing. We treat it like we treat higher education. It's a necessity, but priced as a luxury. And for movies and all of that sort of stuff, we do the same thing. We want it, but we don't treat it with the respect that it deserves oftentimes. So, I was starting that conversation because I was thinking, I was asking my friend that question, and and they were talking about something music oriented and things, and I was just like, man, okay, file this away in the back of your head, because I was like, okay, like they like played music for me, and then I like listened to stuff they did, and I was just like, I like this like very unique perspective I'm seeing, and this like sound I'm hearing, and all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Someday, I was like, I'm gonna call on that person, whatever their job is, whatever they're doing. It doesn't matter whether they've done it before. And I'm going to be like, hey, can you help me with this thing? Can you help me with this project? Like, that's what I was thinking. That's what I would do. People always say, like, what would you do if you won the lottery? And I want to make other people's dreams come true. Like, or I want to be better than those girls who didn't reach their hand out to help me up. I want to reach my hand out to help somebody else up. That's what we call a full circle story. You're welcome. Okay, gang, I'm sorry. I didn't realize the chat was frozen. Yeah. Yes, you do notice my Taylor Swift The Eras Tour cup. I did go. That was my friend CJ was visiting. Wonderful time with CJ. Very much enjoyed his visit. Too short, honestly. Oh my God, Carrie Butcher here in this chat. I see the picture of your Corky in your profile. So cute, so beautiful. He was here, and he loves Taylor Swift, and we talk. And I like Taylor Swift. I'm not like, I don't know what I would say I'm a Swiftie. It's like when people say, "Are you a Trekkie?" Like, I do very much. I feel like extensively know more about Star Trek than Star Wars. Ironically, I know you guys only ever see or hear me Star Wars stuff, but like, I've consumed more hours of Star Trek than Star Wars, and I think it like has a more consistent universe. So I don't know. So, but I don't know that I'd be like, I'm a Trekkie, And so I don't know if I'm like a Swiftie. I love the album 1989, which is the one that just came out. But this concert that I saw in the movie theater, I saw it in Dolby, was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Like I'm no expert on concerts, but my goodness, this show that she put on was incredible. And the concert itself, I'm sure was incredible, but then also the production that went into making this is just like, it was so, like, you have got to, if this is something you're even remotely interested in seeing it, see it on a big screen with great sound, because it was like this energy of like, I want more concerts like this, because it was just like crisp and clean, and I'm seeing her and the show in better ways than I ever would have seen it in person, and I'm not to take away from seeing it in person, because obviously that's still important, but for those who can't afford it, or those who live in cities or towns where it never came, stuff like that, like, oh my gosh, I just think it's like, I think it was just so well made, and I was just like, I was watching like the editing, how are they editing it, and I was like, I know you're filming this over a couple nights, obviously impossible not to, because things go wrong, but my goodness, this woman, I shouldn't say this girl, is an artist, is a creative force, and however you feel about her, there's no denying that. Like, and this show that she put on was absolutely phenomenal, and I think you could enjoy it whether you've ever heard a song by her or not. But it was excellent. I'm so happy I went and got to see it. And at the movie theater, this cup and the tin popcorn bucket were 2 for $13. So I was like, that's less than just buying like the popcorn. So I got them both. So you know what I mean. But yeah, this is one of those where I was like, I think I'm gonna buy the Blu-ray or whatever, if they have a 4K or anything like that, or something when it comes out, because I'm just like, I'll watch that again. I'd have it on the background, same way you put a record on or anything like that. But I also want to talk about her. Sorry, I blanked. I started reading something. I was in the middle of a sentence. Her backup dancers. What I loved about that show is I saw people in there that were diverse. Like, I'm not just talking about like skin color and stuff like that. I'm talking about body size, and I'm talking about age. I felt like there was a couple people behind her where I was like, oh, these people are definitely over 30. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and some of them there was like a big boy in there, and I was just like, I love him, because he was so good. But then it was just like, I never see bigger people, I never see older people that are in these shows, and I was just like, I loved it. As being somebody who often feels uncomfortable in their own skin and feels too big for everything that they're ever involved in, whatever chair they sit in or anything like that, you know what I mean? Just out of the awkward thing. It was just really cool. It was really cool. And that's one of those things where I love that sort of visibility for people. So that was really awesome. Oh, okay. So Jennifer in the chat is saying, I didn't actually know this, I don't think I understood it, and I should read about this afterwards. She's saying, I love that she skipped the studios and did it all on her own via the theaters. What a badass. Because I know it said with AMC Theaters Present. I was like, did they do this? And it's the same thing I think she did with the record label. And I think what I maybe also like about it is Taylor Swift, I think, like, both at the same time, really knows how to use capitalism to her advantage in terms of like re-releasing these albums. I saw there was like 4 covers for the CD. That's like one they each on the back say 1, 9, 8, 9. So if you get them all, they make a picture. The records make a clock. They're different types. You know what I mean? Like, she knows how to merchandise, but she also knows how to make sure that money goes to her now. And that's something that I will very much respect about her, because that's sort of the thing that, every day it's kind of that thing where you're like, are people exploiting you to make themselves richer? And I know there's an element of that we cannot escape from the capitalist society that we live in, obviously. But there's just sort of a thing sometimes where I'm like, are you the draw? Are you the reason? And I think that's why we have like unions and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, obviously with the actors, the Writers Guild, going through that recently, being like, are you the reason why we even have this stuff? And I mean, I would argue, yeah, that's where it gestates from. That's the seed. So it's sort of one of those things where it's like, why do they make so much less than other people? Like, they deserve a cut of it too. It was their baby, like that baby. So it's just one of those sort of things where I just feel like we're living in a world right now where, like, when did we start just making sure, giving breaks to millionaires and billionaires and and making their life so much easier. They already have it easy. It doesn't matter what happens to them. They have all that money. I was like, it's okay to give somebody who's starving a little extra food. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean you will starve too. Oh, happy birthday, Carrie, to your diva. At Epic Movie Theater early this year for Dungeons & Dragons. Oh my God, yes, I remember that. Oh, how crazy. By the way, I was thinking about this movie the other day because Gary brought it up right here. Dungeons & Dragons, I don't know if everybody talked about it, but that is streaming on Paramount Plus right now. Not sponsored, but will accept. But that movie was so good. I added it to I have a movies Amazon wish list. Again, that's private. And that's where I put them all so I can monitor for sales and things like that. And that movie, I loved it. I thought it was just such a fun, easy movie. I don't know. It's the same people that made Game Night, and that was one of my favorite movies that came out a couple years ago. And so I'm just I love, and Dungeons and Dragons felt a lot like Star Trek 2009, where I was it was very dense, sort of mythology or lore associated with your film and history, and somehow you were able to make it very accessible to the masses in such a fun and exciting way. So Hope is saying, this is also interesting, back to the Taylor Swift thing. There was a story that her dad made millions off her catalog going up for sale because he owned a huge portion. So even though he couldn't stop the sale, her family still made a fortune off it. Well, and then she did that next thing off of it. So good for her. Good for her. Jay, you are correct. Chris Pine is handsome. I like this too. Here we go. Taylor Swift also does so much low-key giving back. She gave huge bonuses with handwritten notes to all her crew, from dancers, stagehands, to truck drivers. Also made huge donations in every city. Now I'm I got to see the Beyonce movie too, because I had read something about Beyonce and Taylor Swift's. It was Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and Barbie were such massive hits this year that they noticeably boosted the economy. There was a percentage number given to it, and it was just a big deal. Oh, you know what, D, you're making a great point here. I see your Star Trek icon here from Strange New Worlds. She says, put it this way, I don't go to the Star Trek convention to get my picture with the CEO of Paramount. And I think that's really a great way to put it. You know what I mean? I understand there's an element of risk and reward, and people who the ringleaders and that sort of stuff, there is money there, but there's got to be a point where you're too much is too much. So I was looking at a thing about housing again, because, I like to depress myself on the daily. And it was a picture of a house, and it was in 1999, this house was valued at, I want to say it was $149,000. And it said, this same house today in 2023 is valued at $459,000. And they said a teacher's salary in 1999 was $65,000. A teacher's average salary in 2023 is $69,000. That makes me sick to my stomach. And that, ultimately, this isn't an economics thing, because I'm no expert on this. I'm just somebody, who tries to figure it all out as he goes. But it's those charts where you see where it was during the 70s and 80s, or since the 50s or something. I forget what it's called. Oh my God. Can you guys see the thumb on the screen right now? So I was recording a video before this, and what happened was, I'm not high or anything. Balloons started showing up on it, and now there was a giant animated thumb that just came out. And if I move too much, stuff happens, and I'm can only I see it? Are you guys sending it to me? Or am I doing it somehow? Am I the thumb giver? Anyway, I don't want to talk about that stuff. Anyway, it was basically CEOs, workers, and it started to do this. And it was just kind of and that chart is depressing as hell. But anyway, there's a lot of things we gotta look back and help. You know what I mean? We talk about everybody essential workers, and then you're just but then we don't pay them very well. Everybody deserves a livable wage, and I think everybody, I don't care what your job is, if you were working 40 hours a week, you should be able to live off of your money. You know what I mean? I know that people look down on certain jobs and things like that, and some require more skill. Well, that's why we have higher brackets of pay for those sort of skill-driven jobs. You know, I mean, all jobs I think require a skill to some level. Not I think. All jobs require a skill to some level. There is a training involved, and you learn how to do that job. And I don't pretend to walk into a McDonald's and know how any single machine in there works, how any of that food comes to be, how the expiration date system works. I ran a cafe once, and it's a hard work. So I can't even imagine how something like that works. And I hate the example of being like the burger flippers at McDonald's, but that's the one a lot of people use. And I always think to myself, I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. I need a burger sometimes. Like, it was 2 a.m. the other day, and guess what? I needed to go get food because I had gotten out of Halloween Horror Nights. So where did I go? I went to Wendy's, actually, not McDonald's, because the Wendy's was open and the McDonald's wasn't. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. They were not very nice at the Wendy's when I was there. It was really, really crap. But it's fine. I just love those chicken nuggets. Okay. Sorry. I'm like sort of looking at the chat now. I'm going to start engaging with that more because I've just been talking nonstop for 40 minutes. But this isn't going to be an hour and a half tonight, gang. It's good to see you all here. I see my faves. I see my usual. You're all my faves. I don't know why I just said that. Oh my God. Okay. Sorry to bring it back to the Taylor Swift again. So the concert was phenomenal. There was a song she sang and I didn't know. Like my friend like told me, he was like, oh, like he leaned over before she sang and she was like, this is a song she wrote about her grandmother, and I bawled my eyes out. And it wasn't even like a super slow song or anything like that, but it was just like the rendition of it. And like hearing the words for the first time, like in this movie theater, and just like really thinking about it, kind of really being applied to anybody that we've been close to in our lives. And my grandmother's birthday was on Friday too. So I was like, and she turned 90, and I'm just like, it was emotional. So it was crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay. I've started catching up on Bob's Burgers because I haven't watched any of this current season that started airing. Because I was like, I wanted to let it catch up a little bit. And I watched, I think it was the second episode of this season. Like the first episode is about chores. The second episode takes place from Rudy's perspective and their friend Rudy, you know, the one who has the asthma and everything. And it was sort of about like what his life is like with like, he stays at his dad's or he stays at his mom. And I'm not even kidding you. I was like on the edge of emotional meltdown the entire episode. It was one of the best animated, one of the best 30-minute, like the television. It was beautiful. The music in it, the way they told the story, like it was still at its core just a very much Bob's Burger story, but it was such a real story and not like one of those like it's a special episode. It just was perfect. It was mind-blowing where I'm just like, this show just literally does get better and better. If you are not watching Bob's Burgers, it is not like The Simpsons. It is not like Family Guy. It is not like anything else. It is its own thing, and I just love it because it is just so funny, but it's also very pure. And honestly, it's wacky and stuff like that, but it definitely at its core, I feel like it very much has that same thing I love about Schitt's Creek, where it's still just a very little bit of like sort of a weird, like not weird. It's like about weird people. Oh my God. Now there's balloons flying around me. How did that happen? I don't understand why that happens. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I have any effects. I'm going to have to like Google this. I don't know if you saw those or not. I'm not doing it. I don't know how it happened. I'm sorry. Kelly says I cried at the concert. Oh, during Marjorie. Marjorie is the song. Oh, thank you so much. I thank you because I didn't know the name and I wanted to listen to it again, and I'll just be like really sad again. Okay, so chat away. I'm gonna engage with all of you now. Sorry. Heads all over the place. Oh my gosh. I really do appreciate everybody who like tunes into these lives, and even if you're watching them later and you're leaving comments, or you're not even leaving comments, you're just watching it. I just, you really do give me. It's not just an outlet to sort of vent or like a sense of community or anything like that. It's just I you know, you like help me feel like I lift weights off my chest. You know, you're spotting me, and I feel like it's invaluable, and so I really do appreciate that. You know, and you know, I sometimes it makes me emotional. I am an emotional person, and you know, I just want to make sure I say thank you to all of you, because it does mean the world to me. You are all just, you know, a lot of you, you know, I'm sure someday there's people that come in here and it's the thumbs down and the whatever and the sarcastic comment and the, you know, whatever, and it's just like, it's fine. But I know the majority of you are here to be like, to lift people up, and that's, it's nice. It's nice. It's nice to have people that care about what you have to say. Because I'm saying nonsense most of the time. Okay, Andy's saying it's the new macOS reactions feature. You can turn it off by clicking on the green video icon when you are using the camera and click the reaction buttons. Oh! Oh my god, I didn't realize that would work in like a third-party thing. Okay, that's weird. Wait, but I'm using... It's weird that it would do that in... Because I'm using not my computer's camera, and I'm using a third-party software. So that feels a little bit weird. What if I turn portrait on? So, okay, so the new operating software can use... That's wild. The new operating software can use an external camera to add this. Ooh, I like that studio lighting. Ooh. This week on the Actors Studio. Studio lighting is just vignette. It's just a vignette, which is fine. I love vignette. I use it on all my photos. Wow, wild. And the mic mode. Okay, voice isolation and then wide spectrum. Huh. I mean, I don't need to use that right now, but that would help me if I ever did these like somewhere else. Wow. Wild. We live in a wild time. Thanks everybody for that. I really do appreciate that. I didn't even notice that green light. So, wow, we learned things today. Da, 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 da. Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to share this not because it's sad, but because it said, had a conversation today with a woman buying hundreds of turkeys for a meal giveaway for the working poor because there is such a big gap and it's only getting worse. And that is very sad. And there's a lot of companies, you know, I know that I believe Universal Studios here every year gives their employees a turkey, like, or a voucher to get a turkey, which I always thought was really cool. And so it's really nice when places do like that. And, you know, try to remember that this time of year, like giving back in different ways. You know, it's some things I try to remember, you know, we kind of, I feel like romanticize some things, like, you know, you think like, oh, I can't get money, and that's okay. But, you know, like things like this, you support me by watching these videos. That supports me, you know. And I'm like, how do I push that forward, you know? And fine, we'll figure it out, but, you know. Oh, wait, okay. Vic's telling me to try this. Okay, so hold on. The reactions, I think, are okay. They're on right now. So he said do a thumbs up. Okay, wait. So can I do a heart? Will that work? Ah! Can you all see them? Or am I just laughing at things that only I can see? Okay, balloons. No, that's not going to work. Congratulations. Well, so how would it know to launch balloons? It must have to like listen to you, right? This is nice. I like when people do this. I never comment. I just want to say how much my daughter and I appreciate you, your lives, and the work you do. Just makes us smile. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys you're all too nice. What am I doing for Thanksgiving? Well, my best friend in the world is okay, hold on, wait. Balloons. Congratulations. Happy birthday. No, I don't know how to get the balloons to do it. Okay, so we got fireworks. 2 thumbs up is fireworks. 1 thumbs up. 1 thumbs up. God, okay, you guys can see them. Okay, and then 1 heart. Wait, did I say heart, or do you have to make the heart? You make the heart. Wow. Oh, so you guys mean this to me. Oh, I was like dead. Nothing's coming out. Smile. I think I'm using my hands too much. I was maybe seeing if I could do a smiley face, but I'll have to look into that later. That's funny. Okay, all right, enough of that. Okay, it's turned off. Okay. I'm sorry. What was I just saying? God, I got so distracted. Oh, what am I doing for Thanksgiving? Okay, so my best friend in the world, she is I am going to her house in Milwaukee, and we are going to have a What We Do in the Shadows Thanksgiving. So I'm going to be dressing like Laszlo for that, and she's going to be dressed like Nadja, and her husband is going to be Colin Robinson. And then her really good friends that live down the street are going to be, one of them is going to be Nandor, and one is going to be the guide. And then I think their daughter is going to be the Beanie Feldstein character from the first season. And then I feel like we had there's other people, there's like a couple other people coming, and I know they'd pick something where I was like, oh, that's a good one. But yeah, so she has I don't know if she'll end up watching this, so I don't like to tout everything, but she's my friend. She has cancer, and this is like it's not going great right now, so it's like I'm trying to go as much as I can. That's why I'm like trying to go. I'm trying to go there as much as possible, so yeah, so I might leave and go up there before Thanksgiving, and maybe she'll do a video with me or something like that, because she's so much fun, and she is just the smartest person I know, and not just so knowledgeable about so many things in such a humble way, and it's just like that type of person you're around, and you just feel better for having even been in the same room as them, and there's nothing. It's like a superpower, and it's just, I don't know. It's tough. So, so I want to go, and then maybe I'll just stay and not come back. But yeah, no, I'll come back. I'll come back. So I don't know. So I think I will probably, I think she was going to come here for New Year's, but I think I'm going to have to go there. So, which is fine, because I would love to go to a new place. It's hard because like Artie is over 10 now, and it's like I feel like I'm running out of time with everybody, so it's tough. It's tough to split yourself apart, because my grandparents are 90, and it's like, I don't know how many Christmases do we have left, and how much time did I not spend with them that I could have. And so that's why I try to be like, every time I'm there, that's why I did that video when I was there. It was like important for me to, like do these things for them and just let them know, it's like, we're not, surprisingly, I'm very emotional, but the rest of my family can be cold. Their emotions run hot in different ways. And, so it's not a hug you. I don't say I love you. I mean, say I love me and my mom at least once I'm there and stuff like that, and like, so it's hard, but it's never enough time. We never have enough time. Everything, I was thinking about it when I was walking the dogs, and I was just like, it's like all good things sort of will eventually fade away. And I feel like in life we carry so much, we allow ourselves to carry so much bad and negative. And it's like, what if we could figure out a better way to really carry that good with us, and keep that stuff going, and hold on to all those things, and it's just like, I just hate sometimes, like the older I get, and I'm sure this happens to everybody, but like, the more you realize, like, it's just this way we've conditioned ourselves in society and this thing. And it's just, I feel like in the last couple of years, especially, it's like, it's just this, like, it's that curve in the calculator, it's the rate is going, it's just shooting up exponentially faster all the time. And it's just like, I'm worried about people like my nephew's, who's like 14 and he's having trouble. And it's like, I don't know. It's just one of those things. And it's just, but in society, they don't take the time with them. We don't do that stuff. We can't afford to do it anymore. We have to, I'm guilty of this. We have to monetize every single second that we live and breathe just to get by. And it's like, that's not living, and it is living and it is fun. And like I said, I love this and I love you all for allowing me to be able to do this. But it's just one of those, like, it's exhausting. And this younger people are going to be even worse than this if we don't do something. And, and that's the thing. It's just like everybody, I feel like it's just about here and now. And it's like, man, you got to think about the future. And it's like, I don't see anything wrong with letting people have a better life than the one we had. Like, that's okay. Like, we have to correct the mistakes. We shouldn't be carrying generational trauma down. We should be stopping it in its tracks so that it's not inheriting. And it's just one of those things. Like, I don't know how many more, Everything Everywhere All at Once we need to watch, or Turning Red, or just these things about generational trauma. And it's like, okay, that applies to so many more things than just familial generational trauma. You know what I mean? Like, geez, God, I didn't know it'd be so emotional, everybody. It's fine. It's hard. I've always been this way. I definitely have something in me that's a little more, I don't know. Somebody once was like, there's like a thing where they're like, you are like hypersensitive, or like, like it's an actual thing. It's not just like whatever. Like, I sometimes feel like a black t-shirt in a room full of corgis. So it's just, everything sticks to me. Like, all these emotions, I carry so much. And sometimes it just can feel very overwhelming. But I am, figuring out ways to like regulate it. But also, I don't think about it as a bad thing. It can be exhausting. It'd be hard. But I'm like, I feel so much more than I have ever felt. And it's like, and I want to feel it. So it's like, it's weird, right? Oh God, Jill's watching. Jesus. It's Jill. If she didn't watch from the beginning, she missed out because people were talking about her in the chat room here. Anyway, it's like crazy to think about all this stuff. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna ask you some questions here now. You all, everybody out here. What should I do? What should we do? Like, what else do you want to see me do besides these lives? And like I said, I'm gonna try and make these lives like a Monday night habit. It'll be somewhere between Sunday, Monday, Tuesday-ish. So like, look for a live in that beginning of the week, okay? And then I want to do like an actual like recorded video, whether it's like, happy hour, or so like a restaurant or something like that. But listen, I'm going to go to Friendly's. It was requested. It's going to happen. There will be a video of Friendly's, and I will be ordering a slice of that watermelon ice cream cake, okay? I deserve it. We all deserve it. You all deserve it. But yeah, so I just want to know, like, is there other things that you're interested in seeing? Like, what's the type of content that you want? Like, I liked doing that video I did while I was in Massachusetts, where I was like, here's my day, when I like went through something. And I want to try and do more of those, but guys, sometimes my day is so boring. But I don't know if that's what people want to see, because for me, I felt like I made a terrible video, and then a lot of you watched it and were like, we love it. And I was just like, oh, okay. was like, maybe try into this thing. So like really like leave some comments, send me an email. John, I think you're right. Sorry, Jon, John. And we were gonna, Brandon, so we are copyright John. We are gonna be doing a segment called Chaos Kitchen. So the name brought to you by the one and only John McIntosh, right in the chat here. And Brandon is moving. My friend Brandon, who you may have known, who have seen in other live streams with me and stuff like that, he right now lives like an hour and a half away from me. He will soon live 30 minutes away from me. So I think he said they're not sure when they're moving in because it's like a house that's a new build. Sorry, I'm giving away all your dirty laundry right now, Brandon, but I know you're not watching this. So I said like, okay, well, we need to do this kitchen segment because it's fun and it's weird. And I want to do a thing where literally I want to start making those Instagram recipes like on camera because I do them all the time now. And sometimes they work and sometimes they suck the big one. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just think like I think it would be fun. I don't know. I think it'd be fun, stupid, and just be like, hey, look at this thing. So I want to keep that up. I'll try and do, when I go to Milwaukee, I was going to do one there. And then, obviously when I'm in Milwaukee, like on Thanksgiving over What We Do in the Shadows video, like I want to cherish all of that and have those memories. Like I think I have a video on this channel. I might have made it private. I thought it was public, but it was from the last time I spent Thanksgiving with Kim is on here. And it's fun to look back and watch and be like, oh yeah, look at that. And so, like, when we're all dressed up like What We Do in the Shadows, yeah, that is going to be a hilarious thing to get. And I think I want everyone to have, like, a little bit to learn so I can edit it together where it's, like, a little episode. So I think I'm gonna do something like that. But, yeah. And then if you are one of my Patreon supporters, I think I'll do a little, I want to get into creating more content for that. Because right now it's just a lot of just the contests and, like, a couple live streams. But, not to say that I don't love doing the contest. I love it. It's so much fun. And in fact, I actually just got something extra for the contest again, even though I told myself I wasn't going to get more stuff for the contest. But there was a cool backpack that I was like, you know what? CJ gave me the idea because I had bought it to return it because it had gone on a little more of an additional sale from when I got it. And I was like, you know what? He was like, yeah, you give it away. And I was like, I should do it as a contest. You're right. And he was like, well, that's not what I said. And I was like, well, you did. But I think I'm going to do some of the more stuff where it's like, prop the camera up while I'm like cleaning or painting, and maybe Patreon, like those folks can watch me because I feel like that won't make as good of a like clean, good cut stuff. And then maybe I'll like make a smash cut of that for the regular channel, something like that. So I'm just trying to figure it all out. Oh my God. We got to do Pizza Hut. I got to find a dine-in Pizza Hut. Oh, no, I can't. I saw somebody that got in trouble for like filming in one. But there is also like there's this cool restaurant that's down near like the cruise terminal that is like it was like built inside of an old gas station. And I want to go do one. I want to do one down there. I just want these little videos. And it doesn't have to be, I'm not trying to compete with my job or anything like that. It's literally like I just want to do whatever. I want to do like a vibe check. I want to do it my own way, and I'm not saying I won't carry that style maybe over there or whatever, or that some of that comes here, but I want to find this like a little more organic version of it. Like I think it is important to be informative, and there's no knocking on those sort of things. And I work with, like, Craig is an incredibly informative human being. And he retains knowledge so well. But I am very much like a realistic person who will read a menu 3 times and then say the wrong word. So I am that person. So yeah. Yes, Denny is going to be is going to do a video with me. We talked about it. I just want her to I want her to get settled in her job, but also it's crazy busy with the holidays. She also did a run this last weekend too. John in here did a run too. Congratulations on that. But yeah, we're definitely going to do those cooking segments. So I got that going with Brandon, and Brandon wants to do some more like liquor taste tests because he likes to try the the Baileys and things like that. So we're going to do one of those too. So I have that on here, you know. So just a couple, like, I just want to know. Just because you're all hanging around. And, you know, just something to mix it up. I will not give up the live streams, though. We are doing these live stream. Becca, you are so sweet. Becca is saying, listening to you and with what we've seen from you, it seems like you really care about other people and like connecting with folks. I think you deserve to make a big change in your life. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I want to, and I was thinking about that today. It was just like big moves, changes, whatever. And I'm just like, I think it's just like kind of settling into that idea of like, what is it? You know, what am I going for? Because like one thing I was like, oh, I'm going to start with that courtesy bar video. And then I got like no views. And I was like, okay. I don't know if it's because of when I published it or an algorithm thing or what it is. So I was like, okay, I've got to figure out that sort of stuff a little bit more because we're just constantly fighting targeted advertisings and everything like that. But okay, Mark. Okay, Rafi is saying he thinks there's a dine-in Pizza Hut on iDrive. Or wait, are you talking about Friendlies? There's Friendlies on iDrive. Everything's on iDrive. Mark is saying, hold on, sorry. The way where they put this, it's like right under a bunch of my controls, so I can't see the. Pizza Hut has a handful of classic style dine-in restaurants around the country that are specifically decorated, designed to feel like the 80s and 90s. Girl, I have got to find those. I got to find one of those. You know what I want to take you on to? I think we're going to take a road trip to Buc-ee's one of these days because, first of all, one, love Buc-ee's, but two, they have like retail exclusive Roosevelt shirts that I never even see the design for because they're not in the app or anything like that. And Nate, Mr. Morrow, so he's friends, you know, like, and I saw him at Halloween Horror Nights, and he had one that was covered in pumpkins, and I'm like, where? He said it was retail exclusive, and then my friends got dancing skeleton ones, so I'm like, what the heck? John says, I did 2 races, 10K and a half. My legs feel like jelly. Oh, yeah? Well, John, have you tried running through a Halloween Horror Nights queue and falling over in front of a group of Gen Zs? I'm never going to let that go. Oh, you don't bother me. Guys, okay, so here's the thing. Because I get a couple people who say this to me from time to time again. D does this, and then one of the riffles, you do it too, are like... I was like, oh, sorry to bother you. Here's the thing. Sometimes I see the message and I'm doing something and I forget to go back to it, you know, and it gets like kind of lost. Sometimes I see it and I just reflect on what you do and I'm not interacting with it, but I see it. And it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate it. It doesn't mean that you've offended me. It doesn't mean any of that. And I feel bad. Sometimes I have a type of like anxiety that like my emotional bandwidth reaches its maximum capacity. And I literally, I'm going to speak to a therapist about stuff like this, but I think it has to do with that undiagnosed ADHD, which I spoke with them about, seeing if that's what I actually have or what it is. But it'll be like a sort of a paralysis. Like, I think people think ADHD is like backflips and bouncing around like a sugar high. And it can be, I think, but sometimes it's the exact opposite. All you want to do is like organize and clean this thing, but you just can't do it. And it's like, you will literally sit and just be like, I just want to move, and you can't. And I know that feeling, so that's why I'm like, and that sometimes is like sort of what happens when it can be overwhelming. Like after everything happened with work, so many people reached out, so many nice messages. I just couldn't look at all of them. And I couldn't deal with it because it was incredibly thoughtful of everybody. And I'm going back and I'm seeing them now, and it was good. And it's nice to know it was there, but it is one of those where it was like, every time I see it, it's like this stain on me. Like not the message, but just the idea that was like solidifying the reality of it. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. Like when you know, it's like the card where it's like, sorry for your loss. It is so thoughtful, and I will carry those cards until I die. But it'll be like, it's sometimes hard in that moment to be like, read every single thing, and then I'll go back and I read it later, and it just fills my heart the right way. Like it replaces what's there. And so that's why I love it. So whenever you do stuff like that, you are not bothering me. You know, I'm just not emotionally equipped sometimes. That's all. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. I try to practice not responding to every single thing that I get. I try to do it with text message. My friends are talking about it. Oh, we got a suggestion. They want a shopping. I feel like someday we might need to do a Target run together, everybody. Like, you know what I mean? I should have done it when the Christmas stuff came out. It was a vibe. I like to keep it low key. I'll do it with my phone. But that's why I'm like that little handheld Osmo. Let me see if I can show you the photo. I've just been debating about it. So if anybody, I know Canadian John sent it to me. But it was, and I think he recommended it's Osmo DJI 3. And let me see if I can just show you like the picture of it. It's like, it's not cheap. It's $520 at Best Buy. But this new one looks pretty nice. And it has a bigger view screen where you can see it. And I was like, for the sort of stuff I do, it feels less invasive than even a cell phone. Uh-oh. The Osmo Mobile 3. Oh, sorry. This brought me to the wrong thing. It brought me to the gimbal. I was like, what is it? Something happened? Okay. I need to move this aside, and then I'm going to take a screenshot so I can show you what I'm talking about. God, technology these days. First, it can tell I'm giving you the... Oh, God, I hiccuped. I'm embarrassed. It can tell you I was giving you the hearts and everything like that. Give me time to realize. I don't know if this is the correct... I do this thing where I will literally obsess over something. It's called the Osmo Pocket 3. Forever. And then it'll be like, oh, I'm going to get it. And then it'll be gone. I'm just bad. I'm bad. I told you guys the story. When I was younger, I would be like, I'd feel guilty about spending $4 on a Goosebump book. I just ordered, Hot Topic has Goosebumps shirts right now, and I just ordered 2 of them. Well, I'm a Hot Topic, I'm part of their program, so every month they offer to some people to do a must-have thing, and so you get to choose 2 items from a list. So it has to be in the list. It's not like I'm just picking random things on the website, although they've done that before sometimes. But and there was 2 Goosebumps shirts in it. Well, there were 3, but I only can pick 2. So I was like, I got the Haunted Mask, and I got Say Cheese and Die. I almost got Cuckoo Clock of Doom because that was the other one. But there's a hoodie right now too that is the Haunted Mask, and I was like, it's not in the deal, and I was like. It was if it was in the deal, I would get it. But I was like, I have so many sweatshirts now because I have the ones from Roosevelt's and the ones that Box Lunch and all these other places send me that it's I think I'm going to have to start doing sweatshirt giveaways. But I love them all. They're so soft. Okay, so this is the camera I'm talking about. See what I'm saying? It's really small, tiny. I spoke with Molly from Mammoth Club and stuff because she has one. Or she had the one before this. I don't know if she got this one, but they switched to a DSLR. I know that. So I'm just, thinking this might be a good daylight thing, but I don't think it'll work for the restaurants and things like that. That's the only thing. But I feel like something like that, because I don't know about anybody else, but my iPhone drives me insane with the cameras. I will literally be filming a video, and if the lighting changes or if I move in a different way, it literally is it'll change the camera while I'm filming. Or you go to take the picture and you almost have it, and then you go to take it and then it comes out like crap. And you're just, so it's I don't know if it's the AI thing they put in the phone or whatever. I sound like the grandmother with the walker. Sure, grandma. But I thought the camera had some sort of intelligent thing to it, and I was more stupid. Nailed it. No, but yeah, I've been thinking about that. I really like these mics too. And the thing about that DJI or the Osmo Pocket 3 is that it does have a mic that it comes with. I think if you get the vlog or the kit, it's $100 more. But it's this. It's this mic, and the camera has a receiver in it, in that tiny one. So you could wear this in a loud environment with that camera, and it would work. This mic system won't work with it, though. I did watch a video about that. It won't. But the receiver, like I'm using right here, so my mics come in a thing like this, like an iPod case. See? So there's two mics in here, and then there's a lightning connector, so this can plug into the bottom of my phone, and then there's a USB-C connector, so it plugs into my computer, and that's where the receiver is right now, and then this is for the top to sit on my camera. That receiver can plug into the bottom of that camera. So that camera would also work with these two microphones. And that's the part where I was like, I do love integration. Like, well, that wasn't the right thing to say. I do love synergy is what I meant. Okay, so here we go. I need you all to know this. I'm going to blow this up so we can see this bigger. If you bring a light into the restaurant, it'll work just fine. So if you're not familiar, if you haven't watched that Nightmare in Orange video that is on my channel, watch it now. But I did that with my friends Brian and TJ here. And Brian has a light that is a square that is like the size of my hand that he pulled out. And I'm talking this bar was like dark, dark, dark. Like, because it was basically lit by black lights. And it was just like a spotlight turned on. And I was like, oh God, I am so embarrassed. He doesn't care. And I admire the fact that he's like, I'm just doing what I'm doing, and other people are going to do it. And I need one of those. I definitely need one of those, maybe one that goes a little bit softer than the one you have. So, yeah. But, Rafi's saying he needs to update his thing too because you have an 11 Pro. I have an 11 Pro too. I have an 11 Pro now that I threw down in front of a group of Gen Zers when I fell down at Halloween Horror Nights in the line. I'm going to keep bringing it up because I just felt all the bruises on the side of my legs too. And those stupid girls that didn't even like, can we help you, sir? Don't touch me. I have osteoporosis. I don't, but that's what I felt like yelling at them. Also, I shouldn't joke about things like that people are actually afflicted by, but whatever. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I gave Erica. So here's the thing, because Erica just said to me, you already know I'll take all your sweaters. I gave her, I loved it. It was really cool. Stitch is not my favorite. I did finally watch Lilo and Stitch, and I actually did enjoy it, but I feel like the representation of Stitch is off from the character in the movie, so I don't like that. But I had gotten from, I think it was Box Lunch, had sent me like a neon green, which it was my favorite color green, and it had like a mummy Stitch on it. It was just so cute. But I was like, I have so many sweatshirts, and a lot of them are Halloween, and I was like, I just can't wear it. And I was like, I know Erica loves Stitch, so I gave it to her, and I was like, it's an extra large, I'm sorry. And literally she sent me a picture, and it was like in a movie where a little baby, it was like when an adult shrinks down to a baby in their clothes, and that was it. That's the picture she showed me, and I was like, cut it up and make a blanket out of it, because that's where you're at now. Sorry, I gotta. Craig texted me, how did I forget all about the Marvels? I didn't buy a ticket at all. And I said, I keep forgetting to buy a ticket. I just assumed I'd be able to get one. Honestly, I didn't love Captain Marvel, the first one. It's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite. It just is like a very I don't like it as much as I want to. But I actually do want to see this new one quite a bit because I love Ms. Marvel. I think she's so good. She's so good. And so I think it kind of looks like kind of funny. And honestly, I've watched a couple of clips from it, and I was like, I think I'm going to enjoy it. So I'm looking for it. Oh, wait. Okay, I did miss this comment. Sorry. Brian and TJ are saying, I think you missed the comment I made. Ditching Nikon for the Pocket 3. Okay, so did you guys get the Pocket 3 already? Oh, you have the Pocket 2. I should keep reading. We have Pocket 2, and it was good. Excited for the upgrade. Okay, because it was one of those things where I was like, I was showing my mom all the things I did with the video, and I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh, I'm thinking about getting this camera, to keep doing this thing. Because I was explaining to her about it. I was like, oh, my YouTube channel is monetized now. And so, when I do these videos, which I enjoy doing either way, I was like, it's kind of the upside is you're like, oh, that video made, like $5. Or, that video made like $10. And then, if you keep doing it in a month, you're like, oh, at the end of the month, maybe I have like $50, or $100 or something, or whatever, I still don't always get, I don't always get how they decide you make all this money, because sometimes there'll be videos that do like way more views and it gets less money than a video this thing. But anyway, regardless, she was basically like, do you want that for Christmas? And I was like, no. I said no because I panicked, but also I was like, I was showing her because I was like, Mom, I don't want you to spend $500 on a Christmas present for me. That's absurd. I think she feels guilty because she like hasn't visited me since pre-COVID, and she knows I've come up there a couple of times, and my like sister and my brother and my other siblings are all, I feel like, pulling her in so many different directions, and like that's all where her attention is. So I feel like she feels like I'm a little neglected, and I do feel a little, I'm not intentionally neglected, I just feel a little out of sight, out of mind. And that makes me a little sad, because it's like I just want to help. I want to go up there and help a little bit. And yeah. Oh, hey, Anderson. And yeah. Oh my God. Okay, this is a small world. Okay, I don't think Jill is watching still, maybe, but she says, I just got home from buying a new car. Hey, congratulations, Sarah. Get it, girl. What'd you get? I can't believe, Ryno, that your friend Jill is the sister-in-law of my knitting friend. The sister-in-law. Wait. Sister-in-law of my knitting friend. So that would make her the sister-in-law. So that's Steve's, her husband's. I don't know if, does he have a sister? He does have a sister. No, he has a brother. He has a sister. They have kids. I know that. Wow, that is wild. Sarah, you need to send me a message or something like that. And Cody in the park. I agree with you. I've never heard that name either. I think it's the villain in Steamboat Willie. And Yen said, I will answer your question. I have no idea. I don't care to know, and I don't know, and I am trying to put all that away. Oh my God, a RAV4! Sarah, I'm jealous. I mean, I like my car. I got a Mazda CX-5, and I'm very happy with it. But a RAV4, it was just out of where I was comfortable. Even my Mazda CX-5, I ended up more, because I set out to go get a Hyundai Venue. Those start at like $16,000. So I ended up spending like way more than I wanted on the car, but I wanted something that, like I said, I could take road trips, I could move in, I could travel in, the dogs could be comfortable in it and stuff like that. And so like when I got in that Venue, I was like, this is too small for me. I'm a big boy now. I'm tall, and I hit my head on the car going in. So I was like, nope, that's a sign. I wanted RAV4 is like, I feel like my dream car, like someday. But the Mazda, honestly, has been wonderful. So I don't regret my Mazda purchase at all. I think it all happened for a reason. So enjoy it. But congratulations. That's the one I set out to buy. But honestly, the other one that I was like, I should have went and test drove it, was the Hyundai Tucson, because the redesign of it looks really cool, but it also is like, I've had 2 Hyundais so far. I've had 2 Toyotas and 2 Hyundais. It's weird that I've had 4 cars in my life. And they were good, honestly. The second one was better than the first one, I think. So I was like, oh, I should have tried out that car. But I really do. The Mazda makes me feel classier than I am. So I like my car. I like my car. But yeah. Cody's saying, I heard this a little while ago. Hold on, let me do it on I heard this a little while ago and shared it on Instagram. Don't ever trip on what's behind you. I freaking love that. That is amazing. I'm going to take that with me, Yeah, Rachel, I had my 2 first cars were Toyotas, and I'm talking like, so my first car was one that my grandparents were getting a new car. It was basically my graduation present, was their old cars. When I say old car, I mean it had 200,000 miles on it. But that car lasted until somebody hit me and the frame bent. But then my next car was a Toyota car that also got to like 300,000. It was crazy. And they really they didn't have there was issues over the years, but it wasn't like crazy. It just kept going. And so it was just that's why I always think someday I'm going to get into that financial class to be able to get back to a Toyota, that's my okay, once I live in that cool house, Toyota's pulling up. Or maybe this car will make it there with me. I don't know. I get very emotional with my cars. I feel like we bond with them. And I'm bonding with this Mazda. It's nice. But yeah, I love it. I do. Toyota is always the first one I always go. I always think it's a very like nice, solid car. I actually I went to almost get a Toyota Corolla Cross, but they had sold the last one. I don't know what was going on when I was looking to buy a car, but everybody was buying a car. So I think the Mazda was what was meant to be for me, and that's why I also like it. I call it sparkles. It's black, but when you look at it really close, the paint job, like it's like the Bifrost in Thor. So I like to call it sparkles. Oh my God, the Tucson is one of the most stolen cars. Well, that's good because I feel like people, this neighborhood. Twice? Oh my God. Chrissy says her son had his car stolen twice. Girl, get it. Rachel, congratulations, Rachel. I love it. I love it. And Trey, we know you love your Honda. We know you love that Honda. Good God. Yeah, that's crazy. So the CX-5, the car I have, so my friend had a CX-9, a 9, yeah. And so I liked his car, and I was just like, okay. But then when I test drove them, and he was talking about it because he was just here and he hadn't been in my new car yet. He was like, your car feels bigger in the front, and that's what it is. I was like, I think my car's a little taller. Like it might just be an inch or something like that. It's not a lot. Like, but he was like, it definitely feels bigger in the front seat. But his car definitely has like a little more of the bells and whistles on it. Not intentionally. It's just in that model. It's built in. Like the screen is a touch screen and mine isn't, and or his like can become a touch screen. Mine can't. And a couple of that, but that's okay. But mine was, I know, was like one of the Consumer Reports or something was like, oh, it's the best car and value in that class, and it has really good ratings. So I was like, okay, you know what? It was my first ever like brand new car purchase. So proud of myself. The Mazda CX-5. No sponsorship. We'll accept. I think about, sometimes I've been thinking about, because I like looked it up, because I saw, I was like, the problem with mine, so here's the thing, when I was home in Massachusetts, I didn't see my car at all, because I kept trying to be like, point it out and be like, oh, that's the car I got, whatever, and I couldn't, it was like nowhere. And then, when I'm here, though, in Orlando, they must have sold a lot of them, because I was like, it's a dime a dozen here. And I'm like, when I'm in a parking lot, there's a lot of black ones, and I'm like, I know my license plate number, but I was like, other than that, that's why I always put a sunscreen in the windshield. And I'm like, I'm thinking about getting like wrap on the car or something, or stripe or something. I mean, I know I'm going to put like a sticker on the window, I think, but it's just one of those where I was like, I need to be able to recognize it from a distance. And I don't know if I ever will. Yeah, it's bigger on the inside. It's a TARDIS, really. Oh, we got Brandon here. Hey, Brandon. Oh, well, gang, I feel like we've been doing this for longer than I intended. I was only going to do 45 minutes. I said I wasn't going to go an hour and a half, and here we are, an hour and a half. I just want to say thanks, everybody, for coming to hang out. Yeah, well, Erica says, just like the Kona, there's also Konas everywhere in Orlando. And I was like, it's funny because that was the car when I was walking through like Epcot. I was like, oh, I like this car. I like this car. Not a bad car either. I'm getting I can't believe I talked about the Amazon wish list, and then Craig just texted me about being like, I think some of the Amazon prices. Oh, never mind. He was literally talking about, I was literally just talking about Quantum Mania, buying Quantum Mania for like, if it goes down to like $12. Okay, so oh my God, the alarm in the parking lot drives me crazy. I won't do that. I'll do the beep beep if I can, like just the one, but the thing where they set the car alarm off, because I'm like, come on now. All right, kids, and everybody, I am going to call it. I don't think my dogs are completely adjusted to the time change, but also, I want to spend some time with them and be better about that. I feel like I'm always up here, and it's really hard for them to do the stairs now to get up here, but this is my only space right now. So yeah, I'm going to go do that. So thank you. This was wonderful. I appreciate all of you for coming here and hanging out, being up past our bedtimes and everything, and this was nice. If anybody wants to send me a message, because I see that's come up a couple of times, you can shoot me a message on Instagram, and I've been trying to get better about checking the requests folder. I try to do that like every day, sort of now, or as much as I can. But I don't know if messages get lost or they're like blocked in a weird way or something. I have. Like sometimes it goes into this like hidden messages, and I was like, why is it hidden? Oh, someone sent me a link from Target. I bet it's this corgi cup. Yep. Which took me 3 times to try and get because the ears kept coming broken. But anyway, if you actually go to my Instagram page, on there there's a button to email me. So Ryno, RYNO 1185, you can shoot me an email, but that's my email too. That's my like handle on everything. So if you're looking for me, RYNO 1185. I still have like Twitter, but it is awful. I don't even know why I have it. I literally open it and I was just like, I just can't let it go because I know that's how some people want to communicate with you a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you, don't send me Facebook messages really because I'm never gonna see those. Or not very much. So I am, yeah, I would say Instagram, or push the email button. Don't be afraid to send that email. Although I got to make sure I'm checking like a spam folder because I think sometimes they get sent there. So I'd say like those are your best bets. But yeah, thanks everybody. Brandon, I want you to send me a question to follow up on what you just said in this chat that I'm not going to say out loud in this video. I will talk to you all later. Sorry, thrown for a loop now. God, geez, the twist at the end. Also watch Goosebumps. I just caught up on it. I really enjoy it. 2 more episodes left. Okay, I'll see you all later. Thanks, everybody. I don't know if there's going to be another video this week. Sorry. I just wanted to say that before I go really quick because I have a lot to do tonight. Oh, I lied. I'm going to go to that Tiki Bar. Look for that Tiki Bar video later this week. Okay. Bye, everybody. You're amazing.